Hello, and thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino, CEO and founder of K9 for Veterans, along with Zach Jett, who is our Midwest spokesperson. And we have Amber. Amber, why don't you introduce that good looking guy sitting next to you?
That'd be me. This is Bill, my husband, Bill Domens. He is a Marine Corps veteran. We own Corspice, and I'm Amber. I run most of the day-to-day stuff, and he is the creator of the spices. So we call him the spice master.
Amber, why don't you tell us, and I'm sure the audience would like to know, how did this all come about? How did you start this core spice?
Well, long story short, Bill has always created all of our spices and done everything for us, and we've never really bought spices. And we also have a daughter who's got an autoimmune issue. So we've always paid a lot of attention on what we eat and how we eat it, and that goes all the way down to spices. So he always created his own, and everybody would come over and he would pass them out. And like, oh my gosh, what'd you use? What'd you use? So he would give them away, and people would show back up with the empty bottle, be like, can you refill this? So what ended up happening was we had a friend of ours that showed up, and he said, you know what? He's like, you guys really got to do something with this. You have to make this expanded. You can't just keep giving it away. So we decided to start a business. I mean, over COVID, we seriously.
How did she
If
do that?
anything else could go wrong while we're sitting here, things are like falling down around us. It's crazy. So, anyways, we started the business over COVID, and it's good because we had the time to really focus on getting the business together, figuring out what we needed, what we were going
Right.
to come out with, what the label was going to look like, all that fun stuff, and we had a lot of fun with it. But the one thing that we really wanted to focus on as well is, we are lucky enough to be able to start a business. So we wanted to be able to give back to veterans and first responders and active military. And we wanted to be able to do that along with our business and make that a big part of it as well. So that's kind of
Well,
where we're at today. So now we're in about year 3 and moving forward.
I have to tell you, I got a lot of samples from you, and I don't know which one I like the best. And everybody that I've given a sample to, first thing, where did you get this? Can we get more? How do I get this? And of course, we refer them to your website and stuff like that. But the taste of your spices are so different from everything that's on the market that I've tasted so far. I have to tell you, it's got a very unique taste to it, and it goes with everything. I put it on my eggs. I put it on my steaks. I don't know what I don't. The only thing I don't put it on is my popcorn.
Oh, you should. A3 is great on popcorn.
Oh my God, that's amazing. No,
Yeah.
it's a great product, and what you're doing by giving back to the veterans, it's just a wonderful gift that what you're doing for them. It really is. I know we partnered with you, and we're very particular on who we partner with. We really are, because that's our name, just like your name means everything to you.
Right.
And when we researched who you were, what you're doing, and the dedication that you have, and what you feel for our veterans, I knew it was going to be a good partnership, and it truly is. um, it's just amazing what you're doing to help our veterans, by the donations you're doing. For every bottle of core spice that you sell, Canine gets a small percentage, or a percentage of, and it goes a long way to help us. It really does. And now I got to talk to you about that event that you recently had. I have to tell you, when I went there, I thought, okay, well, we'll go see what this is all about and stuff. Let me tell you, Amber, you know how to throw an event. I was like completely shocked. I really was. I walked in, and not only it was outside, most of it was in the outside, and it was cold out.
Yeah. It was the
And
one day, the one day
the
that month
place
that was cold, right?
was packed with people and dogs, and you had kettles out there with fire to keep people warm. You had overhead, those poles with the overhead heat on them. I mean, it was, I couldn't believe, and the food there that you had, that wagon that you had there, The food
Yes,
was
that's Damo Barbecue. They
yeah.
are friends of ours and they do an amazing job. And they were generous enough to donate their time and money. And it was great because we definitely wanted to supply food as well.
Well, like I said, I thought, okay, really cold out here. But after I was there for 10, 15 minutes, there was so much activity going on. So many people with dogs, and people were coming up to us, talking to us, thanking us for what we do. And it was just an amazing event. And I said, I'm going to have to kidnap you and do one of our events for us because you put on a hell of an event. I got to tell
I'm
you.
glad to help you. No
Well,
problem.
and we're going to recruit you, believe me, because that was a great event, and I can't believe the amount of people that were there. And not one person said, "Oh, it's cold out. I'm going inside." No, they were all there. And then you even had pictures, people taking pictures with the dogs.
Yeah, yeah. We
You
had
know?
the pet photographer, Amy
Yeah.
Alio, she was amazing. She
Yes.
those photos were the best dog photos I've seen ever. I mean, she just caught the personality of every dog. It was awesome. And then all she did was ask for a donation from everybody that got their
I
dog
know.
photos done.
You
And it,
know. I know, and you had other vendors there as well, and it was just an all around great event. I like I said, I was like, wow. I walked in, I wasn't expecting that, so it really took me back. Zach, you know, being a veteran yourself, like me, when you have an organization that's stepping up to the plate to do what they're doing, for our veterans by contributing some of their sales to help our veterans. How does that make you feel about their organization?
Oh, it gives you a warm fuzzy. To make it plain and simple, Michael, it goes to show that there are people out there, even though it may not be much, every little bit of support to the veterans that need it, it goes a long way.
It really does. Like I said, your product is, and you even have our label, our logo on your label.
yes, on the specifically
Yes.
Chicago Prime.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. It's yes.
We created that one specifically for so people know that $4 from every bottle of that hot sauce sold goes to Canine for Veterans.
I'll tell
And
you
I
what,
should
that's
say that is my favorite one, and everyone should run out and buy a bottle.
Of course, yeah. We actually had a company right before our event. It's a local company in Chicago. They're throughout a few states, but they've got a pretty big presence in Chicago. They wanted to supply their veteran customers with something from a veteran company. So they ended up buying, I would say, 68 cases of
Wow,
this hot sauce before we even started that event.
God
So
bless.
we were that far ahead of the game before the event, but then after the event, obviously, I mean, we doubled or tripled what we had sold to them, but it was great. It was awesome to get that little kickstart of 68 cases to get this ball rolling, and that's a lot of bottles for $4.
That's a lot of bottles. You
And
know,
we were
there.
also approved that midway through that event, I went and asked the sponsor, D&G, if we could call it the first annual, and he said definitely. So we're going to do this every year.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm all good with that because let me tell you, even if it wasn't to benefit canine, I had a ball at that event. I really did. I forgot why I was there. I was having so much fun.
Yeah, and a lot of
Really?
the vendors were veterans, so that was we were
Yeah.
trying to keep it in theme. And usually, we all try to share where we go and what we do and who we give to, and
Right.
but it was nice to get all of them together in one spot and kind of have only them together because we're all usually kind of separated out, and it was kind of just a veteran event, which was incredible. And we had um, a drawing for specifically for a veteran. So we wanted a veteran to win this because it was a veteran company who was donating
Right.
the gift card of $500 to a veteran who for any mechanical services on their car. So
That's amazing. Wow.
yeah, so a
I
veteran,
mean, you had gift baskets there. I mean, it
yeah,
was just a great event.
we had 40 gift baskets that all got bid on and sold. Um,
There's
we had,
there's a lot of organizations out there, but to find one like yours that is so veteran oriented. Let me tell you something. I wish there was more of companies like yours and what they're doing, what you're doing for our veterans, because it means a lot. It just shows our veterans that, you know what, and your husband's a veteran, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That just goes to show that to our veterans that there are people that care about our veterans, and it just means so much to them. I know what it meant to me when you called and said, "Hey, we want to do this event for Canine," and I thought, "Wow, I mean, that was a gift. It was." And you've raised, when you asked me how much we thought you had raised, I thought what I was telling you was a great number, and you quadrupled that number,
Yeah.
um,
We,
which was
we were amazed
out of, out
ourselves. We were,
you knocked it out of the park. No way did I ever expect what you raised. I got to tell you, I'd be honest with you. And I mean, you raised so much money that you raised enough to what? Sponsor a service dog.
we were super excited to hear that too.
And that to me, when I told that veteran that we got a sponsor for you and your service dog, he was beside himself. And when I told him it was Corspice, because I gave him some of your product, he was just, "Oh my God, that's even better.
Right?
maybe I can get some more." You know. So, so I know you're coming out to the training center soon to meet with your veteran and their service dog, and I'm telling you, you could ask Zach. He is beside himself. The opportunity
Yeah.
that you've given him now to put him on track to just to be have a better day
Right?
Oh yeah.
by having
Oh, yeah.
a service dog.
And knowing
You
it's
literally,
covered, it's
you
done.
literally, you have literally changed this man's life. You really have. And your husband, as a veteran himself, if he knows anyone who's gone through or has PTSD, it may not seem like a big thing, but Zach, I'm going to have Zach tell you what that service dog meant to him, and what it's going to mean to this veteran. I mean, it's just like I said. He's called me 2 or 3 times. Really, they're really going to sponsor me with this service dog? I said, yeah, really. In fact, you're going to get to meet them too, because they're going to be coming to the training center to meet with you. So he was just like beside himself. He really was. Zach, what did it mean to you when you got your service dog?
Oh, it was a complete and total game changer. It changed everything, every aspect of my life. I went from being a shell of a person that didn't want to go out and do anything to dragging the family with me everywhere. We went from going backwards to full on marathon running in a matter of months, is what it felt like. So we, I can't even really express it in words sometimes, Mike. It's like you're getting part of your life back. So it definitely means a lot. And through companies like Corspice and all the small events that they do, and other organizations that help support it, it means so much to the veterans that they don't even realize it the day they walk in, but the day they walk out, they are a different person.
And that's what I wanted you to take away from this conversation tonight, this podcast, is that you and your husband have no idea what you've done for this veteran. He is just like beside himself. Just thankful. He can't wait to meet you and thank you in person. He really can't.
Oh, that's awesome. We can't wait to meet them too.
That'll be fantastic.
God bless you for what you're doing for our veterans, and to know that there's going to be an annual event makes me really happy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
because what you did in that short time that you put this together, and the funds that you raised was enough to support a service dog. That's a monumental feast. Let me tell you something. It really is. I mean,
yeah, I put that together in 30 days.
Wow.
you outdid yourself. You really did.
If
Yeah.
you did that much in 30 days, imagine what you can do in 12 months.
That is exactly what I was talking to someone who has a bigger non-for-profit organization. And I went to him and talked to him about it before I even did it. And he looked at me, he's like, Amber, you only have 30 days. He's like, no offense, but good luck. I'm like, okay. That was kind of a challenge. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this work. And he showed up at the event. He actually donated, and he was the one, Excel Automotive. He is the one who donated the $500 gift card as well. But he had told me, he's like, oh my God, I have no idea how you pulled this off. He's like, but it's great. He's like, it's awesome. He goes, think of what you can do if you had more time. I'm like, right?
Show us. You even had shirts made with our logo on it. Stand up and show us that shirt. I mean, you knocked it out of the park. You really did. With all your sponsors on the back and our logo on the front. I walked in and I seen those shirts. I went, that looks
And
familiar.
some guys got staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're staff.
Right.
Well, she could have called you a volunteer.
I could have, but you
Yeah.
know what? Staff is a little bit better.
We all did that
Yeah.
once.
So actually, we do still have these shirts on our website, and we're still giving back to you guys.
I was just going to ask you, people, tell us how we could find you.
So you can go to Corspice.com.
Okay.
What we did was we bundled these three together. So it's the sports bottle, the hot sauce, and the t-shirt.
Oh,
And
wow.
you can go on there, buy that gift pack, and 65% of that goes back to you guys at Canine for
Oh
Vets.
my God. So those who are listening or watching the podcast, please go to Corspice.com and make that purchase, because it's gonna help our veterans, and it means a lot to them. They really do. What are your future plans for Corspice? Not for Canine, but for Corspice. How far do you taking this?
As far as we can, you know, we're having so much fun with it. Literally, I mean, it's part of our daily now, right? I mean,
We're waiting to cook our steaks with Corspice, Chicago Prime right now. So as soon as this is over, the grill goes on and we're eating dinner.
And the whole family gets involved in it. Like, you know, I was talking to someone yesterday and they had said, oh, well, you know, do you do most of the cooking? I'm like, well, we kind of all do. Like, if there's a pot on the stove, you can see like all four of us one at a time going and changing something about that pot. So it's just part of the household.
How do you come up with the flavors? That's got to be hard, because I don't know.
Generally, they all tell me, you know, I want something that has a little bit of this or a little bit of that with, you know, something on the back side or the front side, whatever. And then, you know, we got like 50 to 85 different flavor morsels we can play with, and we'll start playing around. You know, we don't always nail it out of the park the first try, but most of the time 3 or 4 renditions and we're on to something. And we hopefully have, I think we have 5 or 6 in queue right now that hopefully early next year we'll be bringing out at least 2 of them real quick, and then the rest of them throughout the year.
So what's probably one of your guys' top selling products that you
A3
have on the market right now?
A3 for sure.
Yeah, A3 is the
okay.
If anything, anywhere, anytime. That's why it's A3, and it's got a lot of heat, but not crazy, and it's got a huge flavor profile. We've started calling it a dry hot sauce, because from avocados, Bloody Marys, all the way to the Zucca de Pesce, you can put that shit on anything.
I've got a bottle of it sitting on my counter right now, actually.
Yeah.
So
I use it, like I said, on everything. I mean, I not only love what you're doing for us, for Canine, but I love your product. It's a legitimate, great product. That's all I can really say about it.
Yeah, there's no additives, no preservatives, no sugar. And even we're coming out with one, hopefully by this month, but, you know, with the way the world is right now, we might have to, you know, wait, depending on if we can get all of our, you know, bottles and all that other good stuff. But it's little heat, little sweet. So we wanted to keep with our theme and not add sugar to anything. So we're putting, what is it?
Honey granules instead of sugar.
Yeah.
How do you come up with these recipes, though? Have you cooked before? Were you a chef? Were you? I mean,
no. I just don't like other people's food.
Well, you know what? Thank God that you don't, because you created a really great product. You really have.
Thank
You
you.
know, and I know, and the bottom line is, once people try your product, they love it. They really do.
Oh yeah.
It's not something they're going to taste and say, "Oh yeah, that's nice." Everyone that I've talked to that tasted it says, "Holy cow, they knocked this out of the park." They really did. So, I mean, I think that's the best and biggest compliment I could pay you for what your product is, because, like I said, I haven't had not one bad review on anything.
We actually
I
have
mean,
either, which is really, really, really nice. We take a lot of pride in what we do and how we create.
obviously, you do. Obviously, you do. And the chef is sitting right next to you. He's the would he be the master chef here, or you know?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, to be completely honest, I really don't enjoy cooking as much as he does. He enjoys it. I feel like I
And
have
I
to.
don't like to clean.
I'm the
So
mom, so it's like every day of the week I have to cook. He gets to cook the fun stuff,
So
really creative.
you you create and she cleans. That's a great
well, she
combination.
runs the company and I only create things. So even still, I know where
Well,
my limitations.
there has to be a creative thinker,
Yeah,
and I guess that's what you feel.
I agree. I think you have to have a little bit of both worlds when you open up a business, or it just gets all crazy.
If I ran the business side, we'd be broke and you guys wouldn't have any donations.
Well, then you keep him in the kitchen, okay?
No
Don't let
problem.
him don't let him near the computer, or any no, don't do that.
You got it.
Keep
No
him in the
problem.
kitchen. Well, I am so looking forward to you coming out to the training center, presenting that check to that veteran, knowing that his dog is being fully sponsored by Corspice. I can't thank you enough. I'm serious. I'm still in shock and awe of how much money you raised. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. When I gave you that number, I thought I'm probably shooting a little high, but and then when you tripled it, quadrupled it,
Yeah.
or even more, I mean, it was like, whoa, that's really a great goal you reached to do what you did to help our veteran. So, one more time before we sign off, I'd like you to give us your website, any contact information, your Facebook page. It's important that people know. Number one, it's important that they know that you're a veteran organization supporting our veterans. That's the takeaway here.
Definitely.
Okay. The second takeaway here is that go out and buy some Core Spice and help Canine.
Exactly.
Right?
Get yourself something to donate at the same time.
Get some.
Go buy some. So, okay, go ahead. Give us one more time before we sign off. Let us know where we can find Core Spice to make a purchase.
You can go to corespice.com to make a purchase. You can also find us on Facebook. We have a business page on Facebook, which is Corspice, or you can join the group, which is Corspice as well, but it's a group. We're on Instagram at Core Spices. Really, just type in Core Spice, you will find us. You can also.
How did you come up with that name?
Well, it's in the Marine Corps.
Core Spice. Okay. Core Spice. Oh, boy. Okay, Michael. But that's one of the things I had to think about for a minute. But it's a great name, and it's a great product. It truly is. Like I said, we're pretty funny about who we partner with, and we couldn't be happier with the partnership that we formed with Core Space. Vice, you guys are totally amazing. You really are, and you guys are a great team. Look at you two.
We work well together, I have to say.
And he's the comedian in the bunch too. I can
Right? I
tell.
mean, you've probably been seeing her. She just keeps popping her head up the whole time we're doing this. She was not letting us do this by herself.
She knocked chairs over, pulled the lights down.
So
She
like,
had to
all
get
right.
in the shot.
Yeah.
So
Well, listen. In closing, let me just say, Canine and our staff want to thank you for everything you're doing for our veterans. And being a veteran-owned company, it makes it even more special to us, because we need more organizations out there that are offering to help our veterans, because We're losing 22 veterans a day, and if one of these dogs could help stop veteran from taking that final leap, then we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But the veteran that you're sponsoring, you changed his life.
We're glad. We're glad to hear that.
It's awesome.
You really
That's the
have.
goal. Make a difference.
And what's good is that he'll come to your events. We want people to see and know what you've done for a veteran because it's that amazing. It really is. You're really great people.
Thank
Both
you.
of you. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of Canine. Thank you for letting us be a part of Corspice because it's truly a great company and we really appreciate being a part of it. We really do.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so
God
much.
bless you. Thank you. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thanks.
You